Hello everyone, it's Sonia McDonald from Leadership HQ. How are you going with the Webclass series? And have you filled out your leadership action plan? I find that so many of the leaders and executives that we work with find it really challenging, and I get it. I mean, it's about you. You're reflecting on who you are, what you want, your values, your goals, your strengths. So I want to take you out of your comfort zone because that's when change and learning really happens. So I'm going to take you on a journey here because this web class is about leadership. It's about you as a leader. Like, how can you lead the way? I want you to be the best version of yourself. I want to bring the best out of you. You know, obviously leadership is something that we're incredibly passionate about, and I want you to start thinking about, what does leadership mean to you? Why does leadership matter to you? I want you to grab a notepad or a piece of paper. Hopefully you've got one already in front of you as part of this web class series. If you don't, put the video on hold, grab it. I want you to write leadership on top of the page, and I want you to start to brainstorm words and phrases that you identify with the word leadership or leader. Brainstorm them. It could be integrity, it could be inspiration, it could be they're great communicators, they have vision. It's all about trust, it's all about respect. Start to just really brainstorm those words. Then I want you to take a step back, look at the list, and start to think about, what words here on this piece of paper describe who I am as a leader? If I was to ask people around me how they would describe me, what words spring to mind? And start to highlight them on that piece of paper or notepad. Start to think about, okay, who am I as a leader? What words resonate to me? It's interesting, I think we've made leadership bigger than what it is. I think we've kind of identified leadership as being about role or title. You know, I don't have CEO in my name. I don't have managing director or manager in my name, so therefore I'm not a leader. Leadership isn't about role or title. Leadership is about a mindset. It's about an attitude. It is about action. And I want you to think about that, because when you're looking at that piece of paper and those words, you know what? You are a leader. You can make a difference. Leadership is about attitude. Now, I want to talk to you a little bit about confidence and focus, because obviously I think confidence matters just as much as competence. And part of this journey that I'm taking you through is to help you gain that incredible confidence, to start to have that self-belief, to get to know who you are and to get out there and rock it. So I'm going to bring a little bit of neuroscience and focus into this, because I know I mentioned in the last web class, attention goes, energy flows, and you are the director of your brain. And focus is really important. So I want you, as part of this web class series, to really focus on what you truly want, why you want it, how you're going to create it, and how you're going to make it happen. Leadership matters. This matters. What is going on in here really matters. You're the director of your brain. So I'm going to talk to you about a really cool part of the brain called the reticular activating system. It's called the RAS for short. It is a really, our brains are obviously, every part of our brain is important, but this in particular is a really great part of the brain, the reticular activating system, because it really helps you focus. We're kind of taking in, they say, millions or even billions of bits of data per second, but it's our RAS that determines what data we focus on. So think about it this way, and I kind of sometimes call it the red car theory, obviously because I love red. But you know how you go and buy a car, or you're thinking about buying a car and you're going and looking at all these different cars. It could be Hondas, Fords, Nissans, Mercedes, BMW, and then you decide on the car. You decide on, let's just say, the red BMW convertible. You're kind of pretty excited about it. And every time I take people through this exercise, they go, yeah, I've made this decision to buy a car. It's really exciting. It's really important. It's really pleasurable. The thing is, when you decide to buy that car and you leave the showroom, or you found it on the internet, or wherever you might have found it, you start walking down the street or you start driving along the road, and then you start to see red BMW. You kind of go, hang on a second, I'm seeing these a lot more often than I used to. It could even be that you're not even consciously looking for them. You could be just walking down the road and all of a sudden you go, where did that red convertible BMW come from? Wow, I didn't realize that so many people had red BMW convertibles. I'm sure you've experienced this when you've thought about or bought a car. You start to see the car more often. The thing is, you know, the red car theory, the RAS, it happens with every aspect of our lives. This is why I'm really wanting you to focus your RAS on you as a leader. Focus on what makes you a leader. Focus on your strengths and your talents. Focus on your why. When you start to focus on these things, you will start to see the data. You'll start to see the strengths. You'll start to see your values coming to life. You'll start to see why you do what you do. You'll start to see that, you know what, this is what's important to me and my leadership. This is why I am a leader. This is what I'm creating for myself. You will start to see it, and that will make a massive difference to your confidence. Because imagine if I said, hey, let's focus on your weaknesses because they're pretty interesting. Guess what? Your RAS is going to show you that. And I'm not saying to discount anything that you want to develop. I'm not saying, you know, don't try and improve yourself. I'm saying don't focus on it, because when you start to focus your life on this isn't working for me, this isn't happening for me, I'm failing at this, I have this weakness in this, and if you keep focusing your thoughts and focusing on those areas of your life, of course you're going to start to see it more often than not. Don't focus on it. Focus on the things. Focus on the things that truly matter. I even talk about it in my Just Rocket book. I talk about the importance of focusing on what makes you rock, but also I focus on, one of my chapters is around crap, like focusing on the crap that really matters. And read the chapter in the book because it's really important. We've only got so many craps to give, so make sure they're really important. Make sure you're focusing on the things that really matter to you, which is your strengths, which is, you know, when we talk about networking, the tribe of people that you've got around you, which is what you're really passionate about, what makes you happy. You know, we are not perfect. And you know what? It's really important that you love your authentic self, that you understand what makes you truly rock and shine, and that you're authentic, and that you are out there being the best you can be. You know what? Perfection isn't important. What's important is being truly who you are and going out there and stepping up and shining. And some other things I want to talk to you about today that I think is really important is I really want you to start in terms of your leadership, self-developing, getting out there and grabbing some books, reading, constantly learning. Spend each day setting your RAS, focusing on what makes you rock and what you want to achieve in your life. Start to visualize it. Start to think about, you know, how and what you can be doing to make a difference to what you really want. Start reading every day. You know, read fantastic leadership articles, watch videos, grab my book, Leadership Attitude or Just Rock It. Leadership is about learning. They're indispensable of each other. So today I've spoken about, and I want you again to go back to your action plan. I've spoken about leadership as an attitude. It's a mindset. I've spoken about the reticular activating system. Google it. There's some great videos on the RAS on YouTube or online. I want you to start to think about, you know, what makes you rock as a leader and focus on that. Focus on what you really want as a leader and start to read, start to self-develop. You know what? Leadership in life is a journey. The greatest gift that you can give yourself as a leader is to continuously learn. You know, one of my most favorite sayings is that leaders that are constantly self-developing and learning, the more seriously you take your learning, the more seriously others will take you. You know what? You are a leader. You've got this. If I could go back in time and say something to my younger self, I'd be like, Sonia, start getting out there and seeing yourself as a leader. Visualize what you want to create in terms of your world as a leader, how you want to make a difference to the world, how you want to leave that legacy. What does leadership mean to you? And focus on your strengths and talents as a leader. You have them for a reason. So keep filling out that leadership action plan. Please share with us your learnings or insights as part of this web class series. Continuously learn and continuously rock it as a leader. Remember, we're here to help and you rock.